everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon White, and this is it, the Big 50! That's right, we are on Hunt 50, and we got a Silk Scarf, which is a held item that'll boost the power of normal type attacks at A. Yeah, that was a Swadloon, and I decided to have Lattice defeat it. Lattice is still first in my party, and it feels really awkward calling Lattice neither a he or a she, because Lattice is genderless at all. But now that my Deerling evolved to Sawsbuck, I can't show the spring-form Deerling to this Weather Institute, but all I really get out of it is a Leaf Stone, and I most fortuitously got an extra Leaf Stone at the end of part 49, which is really lucky. I totally did not expect that to happen. I can't believe that happened. I actually wished it had been a Sunstone instead, but that would have not been very likely either. That would have been even better, because then I could evolve both Fluffy and Mayflower. But right now we are, as I promised at the end of part 49, we are headed off toward Mistralton Cave, and apparently there are rocks blocking away. These stupid rocks, why you block the way? Why you don't let me through? Boing. Yeah, I just feel like saying boing, and those of you who watch my Let's Play of Earthbound will know what I mean when I say that. And that was an epic pause talk while battling a wild Pokemon, but this is Mistralton Cave right here, and as I explained before, we need a Pokemon with Flash to get through here. But I still have Starman in the party, so Starman can use Flash! Go, Starman! Go, my awesome space alien! And Starman is totally named of an enemy from Earthbound. Okay, so there were boulders that we need to push around with strength, so it's a good thing I put Lassie in my party because, annoying, Woobats are annoying, but at least they're easy to defeat. Let's have Lassie use Strength on this boulder. It's a really good thing I brought her along. I wasn't really sure whether we would need Strength in this cave, but I guess we do. In order to get to this area over here, although it might be just an item or something, but items are always nice. Instead we have a Hiker. Well, I don't know if that Hiker's going to use any rock Pokemon. If he does, then I probably shouldn't have Lattice first in the party. But I'm going to put Flik first. And I'm actually going to give him the Silk Scarf, even though we probably won't need it in that battle, because he knows False Swipe, and there is a Pokemon that we can catch in this cave. So hopefully I'll get to catch that Pokemon once we encounter it. But first, let's battle this Hiker if he won't turn away from me. Why do you fear me? You should be fearless. You should battle me. You must battle me. You must surrender to my power. Your Drillbur is no match for my Leavanny. And in fact, it was a one-hit KO. Epic Razor Leaf for the win. And he's sending out a Girder. Which Pokemon am I going to use here? Well, gee, I don't know. I'm going to use Starman. Well, from my experience, Girders keep using Rock Slide against Starman, and I don't really like it when they do, but I'm going to take a risk anyway. I don't really know. And I probably should have bought more Repels. That's one thing I forgot to do, but fortunately, Lattice is pretty good at KOing a lot of the wild Pokemon here, and that Girder is at a lower level than Starman, so hopefully it won't be too bad. And I totally forgot to use an Elixir on Starman. He right now has only 10 PP left for Psybeam, but I have a few Elixirs. I found at Ethers. I found a few of them back in Wellspring Cave, and yay, Starman was able to one-hit KO the Girder after Rishi's bulk up. Well, gee, this Hiker was easy. After we defeat an easy Hiker, let's go see what else is in this cave, and we have another boulder we can use Strength on. And let's see what's over here. I don't know if this is the way that you're normally supposed to go in Mistralton Cave. I don't know if you even can proceed much further, but hey, we have another Hiker. Yeah. Let's have... I think I still had Flik first in the party, so I think if he uses any Rock-type Pokemon, that this will be good, unless he's going to use another Drillbur again, which I could have used Lattice, but no, it's a Dumbledore. Yeah, let's have Flik KO a Dumbledore, even though if he falls victim to any rock attacks, they'll be super effective. Let's see how he does. Alright, Starman! Using Psych Up and Simple Beam like a boss. Yeah, that's one thing I like about Simple Beam, is that it is that it makes a foe's stat changes much more drastic. So we could use Psych Up after he uses a defense move like Iron Defense, and just copy that and get an insane defense boost, but unfortunately that Dumbledore didn't use any physical attacks afterward, but that was fine. I'm gonna put Lattice back to being first in the party, and we found a Max Repel! Oh my gosh, yes, I could totally use one of those. But actually, I think I gotta pause the video now because I totally forgot to get some items. Maybe I'll explore around a little bit before exiting this cave and going back to get more items, and hey, we have another boulder we can push with strength. So maybe this could be a shortcut back, and I saw an item up there. Let's get the item first. It's a Hyper Potion! Okay, we're getting lots of Hyper Potions. All of a sudden, I don't know how many Hyper Potions we have, and we ran right into a Water Gem, just like we ran right into a Leaf Stone back in Wellspring Cave. That was pretty awesome. But yeah, I gotta go back outside, and I gotta shop for more items, so I'll see you back here in a bit. Man, I totally wish I could cast Furore's Wind in this game. Furore's Wind is the spell in Ocarina of Time that basically lets you create a warp point. A shortcut that you can warp back to later on. So if I had that spell, I could have totally created one here, and then just warped back here instead of having to go all the way back through Route 6 to get here. But enough complaining about that. This is not Ocarina of Time. This is not a Zelda game. This is a Pokemon game, so I'm gonna have to deal with it and just use Flash. And I didn't even heal my Pokemon yet. I was gonna heal my Pokemon, but I didn't even do that. Well, gee, that was dumb. I'm gonna go back to that healing house over there. Fortunately, I don't have to go all the way back to a Pokemon Center in order to heal my Pokemon, so that's another Why don't I have a cleanse tag? Oh, I encountered a rare Pokemon without even realizing it, and it's another red striped Basculin, which I'm not even worried about. It's too bad Alomomola cannot appear in these areas. I think Alomomola only appears in the ocean. Not that I really want to catch Alomomola anyway, so... And I just gotta surf so that I don't have to encounter Pokemon in the double battle grass, because I think it's easier to run away from Basculins than what other Pokemon will appear in that double battle grass. And there's another red striped Basculin over there. At least I think it's gonna be a red striped Basculin, but let's heal our Pokemon and get back to the Pokemon Center. Starman especially could totally use it because he wasted a whole lot of Psybeams. Well, I don't know about wasted, he used them masterfully to defeat fighting Pokemon in Wellspring Cave, and a couple of them in this place, like he defeated a Girder in Mistralton Cave, for instance. A Girder who stupidly used Bulk Up in the middle of the battle rather than Rock Slide or something, which was what I was afraid of. But at least now I know that Starman can easily one-hit KO one of those Girders, which I guess is appropriate because I know Starman has high special attack and Girder has low special defense, so that totally makes sense. He can't one-hit KO throws or socks apparently, but at least he can one-hit KO a bunch of other things, and we have this Strength Boulder right here, so we don't have to go all the way back to that previous area. Now I could use Repels in this area, but if I use Repels, then I'll miss the rare Pokemon that can appear in here. So hopefully I'm betting that I can make one appear. But all I'm seeing so far are Woobats and Dumbledores. But Woobats that Lattice is easily one-shotting with Aurora Beam. And I already went this way. Gee, I'm just going around in circles, aren't I? Well, at least Lattice's Levitate ability is really helping me avoid the wild Pokemon. Well, come on, I know there's a Pokemon in here that's not Dumbledore or Woobat that can appear, but apparently I'm not seeing it. Yeah, this is just great. Can I even go any further? It looks like I can't even go any further, and there was a shaky patch of dirt, but You know what, I think I'm just gonna wander around this cave for a bit and see if there's any way I can go to this other level in this cave, because I know there's another level in this cave somewhere, but I don't know if we can not access it until Cobalion is available or something. Cobalion can be found at the end of this cave somewhere. I don't know if we can catch it yet, but that'll be pretty nice if we could, but I don't know if we can. So I'll just speed up this video while I search around here, try to look for the second floor. Ah, here it is! Derp, 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 herp a derp. It was right there. Yeah. Yes, that was really derpy indeed. Let's push another boulder aside just to get my anger out. Let's go. This boulder's heavy. This boulder's heavy. But not too heavy for a dog, apparently. And I saw an item down there, but apparently we can only access it by... Oh, here's the Pokemon that can appear. This is an Axew. Oh my gosh, yes, this is totally the Pokemon I was looking for. So after I catch this, and it has Mold Breaker. And that's good, because Mold Breaker will actually negate the effects of all other abilities. And I know there's another ability that Axew can have, but Mold Breaker is, I think, the better ability for it to have. I think the other ability that Axew can have is Rivalry. And Rivalry will give Axio a power boost if he's up against a Pokemon of the same gender, but in these games it'll also decrease his power if he's up against an opposite gender Pokemon, so that's not really a good ability to have in this game if he happens to be up against a female Pokemon. But I have Flik in the party, who knows False Swipe, so that's why I put him in the party. So let's send out Flik and hope that we can weaken that Axew by using False Swipe at all. And that Axew's using Scary Face, which will lower Flik's speed, and Axew has pretty high attack power, but I'm not too worried. I'm just gonna spam False Swipe, and that's why I gave Flik the Silk Scarf, so that False Swipe will do slightly more damage. I'm gonna use that a couple more times. And that Axew knows False Swipe! Well gee, it just keeps copying me. But that didn't do a lot of damage to Axew. And I'm hoping that it doesn't know that Axew doesn't know a move that does recoil damage, because that would be really bad, because once he's down to 1 HP, then he can just KO himself by using a move that does recoil damage. But I don't think that Axew has any moves that can cause recoil damage at this stage of the game, so that's good. So I'm gonna send out Charlotte, because she knows Thunder Wave, so I'm gonna have her paralyze Axew. Because Axew are pretty hard to catch, just because apparently Dragon-type Pokemon are always harder to catch than most other type Pokemon are. So I'm hoping that after I paralyze this Axew when it's down to 1 HP, that I can use a Great Ball on it, and okay, it's using Dragon Claw. Hopefully that won't KO Charlotte, but I don't think it will. It did do quite a bit of damage though. Axew has a lot of attack power, so that's probably why I want to catch it. It's actually a really good Pokemon to use in this stage of the game, because it reaches its final form just before level 50. So that'll be really good if he reaches his final form just before we get to battle the Elite Four. And I guess that almost makes its final form overused in this game, but whatever, I'm probably gonna have this Axew on my final team anyway, and yay, we actually caught it without the critical capture. I actually did get a critical capture off-screen once when I caught Kuwanger, but unfortunately you didn't see it because it was off-screen. So, as usual, this Pokédex entry is not going to matter, and what was I going to nickname this Axew? I forgot already. Actually, I think I might have wanted to nickname it the same thing that I nicknamed it in my original playthrough of this game, which was Chopper, and which is interesting because Axew has a specialty attack called Dual Chop, which he only learns at earlier levels and will probably never use because he already knows Dragon Claw. But did I come up with another name for Axew besides Chopper? I guess I didn't. Yeah, so I'm gonna name him Chopper, just because that's a really cool sounding name, and it's appropriate, and it also sounds like a character from One Piece. So I'm going to name this Axew Chopper. Just as I did in my original playthrough of Herpaderp, I don't know what else to say. But yay, we caught an Axew! That means we can use all the repels we want, and they're not gonna matter because we already caught an Axew, and that's the only new Pokemon that can be found in this area. So as soon as I find my repels, and I have both repels and max repels, I'm gonna use a max repel. Yeah. So let's go up here and see where that item was. I think there was an item down here or something. Gosh, I love these max repels. These are just so helping because I'm not good at encountering any wild Pokemon, and we got another Hardstone. Well, gee, I already got one from Brock when I caught him. That was just really fortunate that I got a Hardstone, because I recently learned that that Roggenrola only has a 5% chance of holding one of those, whereas he has like a 50% chance or something of holding an Everstone. So that's just really nice that we got one with Hardstone. And is this just a way back? Yeah, this is just a way back. Why did I go over here then? I guess these strength boulders are just... Okay, here's the 3rd floor, but I want to do some exploring of the... Why do I need to use Flash again? I guess the 3rd floor is a place where we don't even need to use Flash. I guess because sunlight is filtering in from outside or something. But no matter, as long as I have Starman, then I can use PK Flash to go anywhere, right? And I'm totally calling it PK Flash because Starman is named after a character from Earthbound, and one of the spells available in Earthbound is PK Flash. Even though I don't think Starman can actually use it. But and my repel wore off, but let's go to the 3rd floor anyway. And I'm going to... Actually, let's see what level the wild Pokemon in here are at. And apparently they don't change, because there was a weak level 28 Woobat, but I'm gonna use another Max Repel. And this time I should actually have my Dowsing Mitchin active, just in case there were a hidden item somewhere. And what does this guy have to say? Is he a trainer or is... I saw your skill. It's impressive for one so young. Maybe you're the one. It may be possible. How about it? Will you listen to an old man story? Yay, old man stories for the win, even though they might be boring to some. In the distant past, when Pokemon and people lived in different worlds, a war between people started an intense fire in a forest where many Pokemon lived. Like the Pinwheel Forest or Lost Lord Forest. The Pokemon were surrounded by smoke and flames. They were in big trouble. And then the legends Cobalion, Terrakion, and Virizion appeared. Terrakion used its amazing strength to destroy rocks blocking the escape route. Virizion used its quick movements to protect Pokemon from looming flames, which totally doesn't make sense because Virizion is grass type and therefore should be weak against the flames. And Cobalion led the frightened Pokemon out of the burning woods, and it too was weak against fire because it's steel type. Terrakion is the only one that's strong against fire because it's rock type, and all those legendaries you just mentioned are fighting type as well. The people who started the war were routed by the power of the legends. Because of Cobalion, Terrakion, and Virizion, the war was ended. Interesting story, I guess. When people fight, there's no peace for Pokemon either. The three legends learned that the deeds of humans could lead to dire consequences for their world, which is totally why N is trying to liberate the Pokemon, right? They cut themselves off from people and disappeared. No one saw much of them after that, and the three faded into myth. Because they're legendary, they have to be based on myth, right? I've been searching for them for decades, and I finally figured out that one of them was deep in this cave, that being Cobalion, as I mentioned before. But the legendary three do not trust people. If people approach, they bare their fangs and attack. And in this case of these three legendaries, they draw their swords, because one popular name for these Pokemon are the Three Musketeer Pokemon, because they have a specialty attack called Sacred Sword, which is a fighting type attack that I think will ignore stat changes, so that's a really useful attack. And I'm gonna catch one of them and probably put them in my team for when I go up against the Elite Four, but we'll get to that later. It can't be helped because they only know the old world. They still don't know the world has become a place where people and Pokemon try to understand and help each other. Oh, so that's the story. I guess people and Pokemon just didn't used to trust each other long ago, and I guess that's what that war was about, but now for some reason they kissed and made up. You seem like you might be able to show them that people and Pokemon can trust each other and live together. If they take another look at people, I think they will stop hiding from us. Really now? Really? Well, we're at over 20 minutes now, but I'm going to do just a little bit more exploring, and there's an item off to the upper right somewhere, so I go to look for it. What is the item? It is apparently in this rock. It's an Ultra Ball! Yay, I can use that to try catching Cobalion even more. And there's another item, and it's a Dusk Stone! Oh my gosh, yes, it's a Dusk Stone. That is really good. That is an item that can be used to evolve Fiendfire later on, but I think Fiendfire still has one more stage to get to before the Dusk Stone will even work on him. What's this item over here? It's off to the left somewhere, but I don't know where the heck it is. It's... Oh, there's Cobalion right up there! See that Pokemon right up there? That's Cobalion. And there's another item in this rock, which is a Carbos. That's really nice. So, I guess what I could do right now is try to capture Cobalion, but I don't know if I even want to do that yet, just because I don't know if I have the best team to try to capture Cobalion. And Cobalion is going to be really strong when we go up against it. It's going to be like level 42 or some other insanely high level like that. Now, Cobalion will be very useful against the next gym leader because he's steel and fighting type, and therefore will be really good against Bryson, who uses ice type Pokemon, but I don't think I'm going to catch it yet. So I think after I train my Pokemon some more, maybe get them all to level 40 or something, which is what I want to do before challenging Bryson, then I'm going to come back here and try to catch Cobalion. Otherwise it'll just cream my team before I get the chance to catch it, right? But we're done exploring Mistralton Cave, so in the next part of Let's Play Pokemon Weiss, there's another area that I want to explore, so stay tuned for more exploring!